What's up and welcome back. I'm John, sorry for back at MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and this is a second look at Bad Boys 2. We got the fourth Bad Boys coming out, so I'm going through the Bad Boys films. I've seen this one before. It came out in 2003, so it's how long. This is an old franchise. It used to take them years to make sequels. Just giant jumps in time. We went from 95 to 2003, then like 2003 to what, 2021, something like that. 2020, I don't know. When did Bad Boys for Life come out? A long time between 2 and 3. So it's Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and they added Gabrielle Union, and it's still directed by Michael Bay. This does not have audio description, where I watched it on Hulu. Hulu's the place that's hosting Bad Boys currently, as of me reviewing this. And I didn't really care. I didn't really like Bad Boys 2 the first time I saw it, and I would have maybe been interested to hear how the car chase sequences, is one specifically involving the cadavers. I would have maybe liked to know how that was described, because it was kind of revolting to watch in theaters. I was a little like, this is a bit much. Why is this in Bad Boys? You sign up for an action film and you're expecting like action. That was a little bit much. Like it's not that I have an aversion to gore. When I walk into a horror movie, I know I'm going to get gore. Like, I know it's coming. When it shows up in Bad Boys, I'm just like, what the is this doing in Bad Boys? This is gross. Stop throwing cadavers. Anyway, it just isn't as fun. It's a darker film. It feels completely different now that I'm sitting here, like, back-to-back Michael Bay. It feels like he was trying to do something else here, and that his Michael Bayisms, the things that sort of made him really popular in the 90s, that made him sort of like a huge director, where he directed these major blockbusters that did really well at the box office. He's trying to like shed that here, and he doesn't quite have the same feel to it. Feels like he was trying to like be like, well, now we're in the 2000s, so we're going to do things differently, which is kind of weird, because later on you can feel those Michael Bayisms in something like Transformers, which came out after this. So he didn't lose his style, but for some reason this is very like less stylistically Michael Bay in many regards. It just kind of has like a darker feel to it. Another reason I don't like this film is because I just think the villain is dull. I don't think he really ever brings anything to it. I think he just kind of sleepwalks his way through a role. He's one of those people who's told, like, given coaching, that villains are like super serious, so he has to be super serious about being a villain. And it's just like, I guess, but people generally don't remember villains like that, Like, I don't think when you think of great villains in films past, you don't think of, oh, the guy from Bad Boys 2. I don't even really think about the villains in Bad Boys 1, to be honest, but at least that film is a little bit more fun than this. This one is, it feels like the camaraderie between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, like they haven't actually been friends since the last Bad Boys, so they're having to like revive their on-screen chemistry that worked so well the first time around, so it's a little bit less like that. It's just the magic isn't there. It's not as fun of a film as the first Bad Boys. And it's like, if we waited 8 years for the sequel, we should have gotten something like that. So yeah, you see Mike and Marcus, and they're back, and the big secret this time is, well, Gabrielle Union's in town, because years later they're going to need her for a TV spinoff called LA's Finest. So she's got to be input into the franchise, so that how many years 15 years later, I'm gonna need her for LA's Finest. Yeah, so gotta get her in here. She's dating Will Smith, but she's Martin Lawrence's sister. So that's she's deeply connected to this franchise now, like heavily in it, which is weird because I don't remember her being a huge part of Bad Boys for Life. Um, so anyway, she's doing a sort of like a DEA bust thing on this Kingpin and trying to get him. He's getting X into Miami, and they don't know how, and she's pretending to be somebody who cleans money, a money cleaner, money launderer, if you will, and that's how she gets in, and she plays it pretty tight, pretty close to the heart. She did this film, by the way, like 3 years out of Bring It On, so she went from being a high school cheerleader to being a DEA agent pretty fast. But she was already old for Bring It On at the time. She was older than the rest of the cast of Bring It On, so she was probably like, can I please be doing adult roles now? Anyway, yeah, it's Joe Pantoliano. He seems older here. He seems more tired, on edge. I don't know. He's less funny than he was in the first film. Like, his jokes resonate less because he just comes across as like a cranky old man here. There's nothing fun about this film. I like, they try to make some jokes and insert them in a way that they exist, but some of the jokes are like, again, like cadavers being thrown on a freeway chase. The first freeway chase where they have like cars being thrown at them is more fun, but then we needed another one, and they're like, well, what if it was dead bodies this time? And it's like, no. They keep joking about like the pool that Marcus has, making sure that he gets like a quality pool in the backyard for his family, because he doesn't have the money that Will Smith does, that Mike does. We get back into that again, by the way. They remind you, just in case you missed the first Bad Boys, that Mike has inherited like a trust fund from his parents, and that's why he's rich and gets to drive around in fast cars so that they look cool. I guess Michael Bay just doesn't want to shoot with cop cars. He wants it's cooler if he could shoot like a Ferrari chasing criminals down the street. So he has to make one of these cops like unreasonably rich. Anyway, yeah, so I just don't think it's that fun. Plus, this doesn't have audio description, so going through it the second time around, the last time I saw this film was when it came out in theaters, because when you see a film and you don't like it, it's not like you revisit it like multiple times. So like, I remember like parts of this film from like avoiding it. It's not as bad as I remember it being. It's the thing about time, is that oftentimes things do not sit where you originally received them at. I might have received this film originally at the grade I'm going to give it, and then it like slowly slid down to where I'm like, ugh, I hate that movie. It's like a D-, but I've only seen it once, so how can I really hate it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a D- film. It's just not Bad Boys. It's not as good as the first film. So yeah, the lack of audio description means that there's a definite grade that's coming, because it's an action film with gunfire and people shooting around, people being shot at, and lots of visual jokes too, like I said, again, with the cadavers and the cars being thrown. And then they go into this one store to try to watch videos, and to try to watch like a security camera video. It ends up being like basically like porn. But so, I mean, like, there are lots of things that you're just sort of missing. You don't have audio description, so I can't really, but since this is the way that companies think we are able to enjoy movies, I just want to bring up all of the things that I miss in the film like this. If this was my first time through, I would have absolutely no idea what anybody looks like in this film. Just in general, like, I have no point of reference to anything, like location size. How big is Marcus's home? I don't know. What's this pool look like? Got it. I don't know. And big deal about it. They kind of talk about how Will drives a fancy car without actually labeling the car that he drives, and he's got problems. It obviously sustains damage. Where, I don't know. It's just like a couple different things. There's always like a surveillance van somewhere, like listening in on something, but like where, from what to who, like, there's a sustained sequence where Marcus and Mike pretend to be exterminators so they can plant bugs, and Martin Lawrence has to make jokes about rats having sex, like he sees rats and they're having sex. Again, audio description. Are we seeing it? Is he just describing it? Like, I would have no. There's no point of reference. It just sort of seems like a really odd joke to make. So yeah, there's several things in this that just, if you're trying to watch this, if you're a blind person who's like, oh, well, I can go to the theaters to watch the new Bad Boys, but maybe I should watch the first ones. So let me check them out. Oh, Hulu's got it. Oh, Hulu doesn't put audio description on it. Well, that must be because Hulu thinks that I can get through this without audio description. Well, they would be wrong. So that's why I don't mind doing these things, is to continuously remind people that no, you can't just do this. You can't just... It's not okay. This is not okay. Especially considering a lot of these films have existing audio description tracks, and it just comes down to laziness and apathy in actually seeking out the existing audio description track. So my grade for Bad Boys 2 on Hulu is unwatchable. Now, having seen Bad Boys 2 and now this jogging my mind, and trying to combine it, I would say if you had walked up on me on the street like a week ago, I probably would have been like, oof, it's like a D plus, man. I don't know. I really don't like that movie. I don't think it's a D plus film. I just don't think it's remotely near the quality of the first film, which, again, watch my review of that. It's up. That's why we're doing this. So I'm going to give it a C plus. I actually would lean even slightly positive to it. I do think Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are talented enough that they carry a lot of this. They carry a lot of what doesn't work, and they really try to make it work. And they really are trying to bring back that chemistry, but there's something about it that just feels like they haven't talked in 8 years. It just feels like they just walked on set. They're like, hey, what's up, man? How's the fam? I don't know. Good? Yours? Yeah. Great. Cool. Let's do this. Yeah. Gabrielle Union's fine in this too, so I don't have a problem with her being in this. So yeah, I would say because of the cast, for the most part, it saves itself. But Michael Bay's direction here is actually really lackluster for Michael Bay direction. So, anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will see you guys on the other side, possibly in a review of Bad Boys for Life. So...